Hey, Censorless Gamers, it's Russ here bringing your latest indie game review. Today it's brought to you by the letter O, which also stands for Ogre, which is our sister company. So if you want gaming-related gear made by gamers for gamers, then you need to hit ogretribe.com and pick up yours today. So today is Throwback Review Day, and I'm going to tell you about a game that I've had over 50 hours of enjoyment with, and will continue to put hours into. Rebuild 3, created by Northway Games and Sarah Northway. It's a strategy, single-player, turn-based survival game where you play as a survivor during a zombie apocalypse. Armed with a cricket bat and a top hat, it's your job to scour the land seeking other survivors and rebuilding civilization out in the Northwest. So this game reminds me of Shaun of the Dead with a little smattering of the show Friends, where you make a better world with the cartoon remnants of the survivors bespeckled in their blood-stained overalls with their Gucci handbags. So you merge together to find out the source of the zombie outbreak, fighting as one community and picking up one community at a time to make the world a safer place, molding your individual governments into functioning societies that have to make hard decisions like who to trust and who to eat. You have to make tough decisions like whether it's better to equip an orphan or equip a chainsaw. I mean, that's a tough moral decision. And don't even get me started on whether or not you want to take a puppy or not. Like, should I sell the puppy for bullets? Or should I equip the puppy as a meat shield to use against the zombies that are attacking? So the gameplay is pretty much reminiscent to every turn-based strategy game I've ever played. You move around with different characters that have different skills in the game, and you need to build a safe compound to survive the zombie attacks that come all around you. Also, you need to reclaim the city that you're in, and there's multiple objectives to basically the end of each mission, which is ultimately to escape and move to the next city in order to find the cure for the zombie outbreak. So all the while you're contending with The Walking Dead, minus Negan. Gosh, man, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, he's such a freaking beast. As you retake the city, you run into other groups such as like prepubescent ninjas and hippie cultists, and you can either work with them and aid them in order to reclaim the city, or you can kill them all and take over their land. And then as you hop from city to city, the very end of the game ends in a glorious cacophony of blood and gore. It's easy to manage and understand the basic mechanics in the game, which allows you to jump right into it and start achievement hunting. Now, I'm not a huge fan of achievement hunting typically in most games, but I actually enjoyed it in this. All the achievement hunting made sense, and it was difficult to do. So I really appreciated that aspect of the game, where normally I just forget all about that. Overall, though, the gameplay can be repetitive, and it would be not the greatest game for some gamers. I would say after about 50 hours, you realize that the game is pretty much complete, and what you've experienced with it has been nice, but there's others that, other story arcs or other games that are a little bit more in depth and involved that you can put more hours into. However, I think this is a good game that you can come back to and play later after you drop it for a while. And although it has a good story, it doesn't have a great story. It doesn't throw plot twists your way and keeps you on your toes. So if you don't enjoy the grind, I don't think this game's going to be a game that you're going to enjoy, and it might not be a game for you. Now, one of the bigger complaints that I've heard is that after about 20 hours, like I told you before, the game loses your interest and it's not something you want to play anymore. Now, I disagree with this, but I understand how people can come to that conclusion. If you really think about it, most games become repetitive after about 20 hours anyway. I mean, you've learned the mechanics, and for most gamers, you've completed the story at least once through. The exception is this game. You can mold your game at many different ways and have many different angles that you choose to do. I would say, though, that after a thorough playthrough a few times, you might seek another game to play with a bit more diversity and a bit more depth with the story. It's no Final Fantasy VII, but it's worth the time and the price that Steam has currently on it. I mean, I think it's just $15, and on sale, it's a must-buy. I say this time and time again, but you can either eat a steak dinner at a nice restaurant, or you could buy this game, play it for a week or more, and with a chance of revisiting it later. The art of the game, pretty cartoonish, and the music is blah and bland. Actually, Matt was listening to it when I was playing it here, and he thought that someone was having a seizure in a trash can. So it's not the best thing to hear. And I say stick with a playlist that you like. Listen to some Pandora. Empire of the Sun is excellent to listen to when you play this game, because they're already freaking weird, and this game's freaking weird, but it's a weird that you can love. So with all that said, this game gets a 6 out of 10, and I've personally had an excellent experience in playing it. Even though it's a low rating, I think it's a game that you would want, and it's a game that I definitely love. So until next time.
Can I get a hi?
Nope.
Nuh-uh.
And drop a like below as well as a comment. Also, hey, check out some of our new content we're adding, such as our weekly podcast, and coming soon, a video game compilation. Okay, bye.